Hello everyone, I'm Mason Brown.
And I'm Katie Inman.
We'd like to welcome you to The Rise, a new infotainment morning show that we hope to bring to the campus of Middle Tennessee State University next fall.
That's right, and RISE stands for Reporting Information and Sharing Entertainment, which pretty much sums up our mission of reporting news you can use and entertainment you can enjoy.
And we're here to take your MT mornings to the next level, so let's get started. Coming up, Rock the Vote. Newly elected student body president Madison Tracy is ready to make a difference at MTSU.
West Side Story will go behind the scenes of the MTSU arts production that gave audiences something to snap about.
Politically challenged. Do millennials live up to their reputation of being uninformed on politics?
And more than an official, see why one local ref treats every step as a winning victory.
All this and more today on The Rise. It's Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016, and once again, we welcome you to The Rise. This is our low-budget pilot episode of sorts, so we're not in the studio today, but what we want to try and do is give you a good idea of what to expect from our morning half hour of infotainment.
That's right, and earlier in the show we explained what the acronym RISE stood for, but the title is also sort of a play on words because this is also going to be a morning show, so you know, rise and shine, carpe diem, and good morning, Middle Tennessee.
We've got a great show today because our friends at the MT10 News and College of Media and Entertainment are sharing some great content with us.
And we'll also meet the rest of our RISE co-hosts as we get updates on what's happening in weather, sports, and pop culture.
But first, to begin the show, let's find out what's happening at MT. Well, you guys rocked the vote, and now the Student Government Association has its new team of executive officers and senators in place for the next school year.
Reporter Kiara Green recently spoke to your new student body president and joins us now with the interview. Hey, Kiara.
Hey guys, that's right. SGA elections were held a few weeks back, and I got a chance to speak with our new president, Madison Tracy, who tells us what she has planned for MTSU.
It's election season, not only for America, but right here at MTSU. Members of the Student Government Association took part in a competitive election cycle, and after weeks of campaigning, Madison Tracy is our new student body president.
Mainly what I want to do is make sure students are informed of the decisions that the administration is making. We're in kind of a cool period of history in our university's timeline where we're going to be independent and we're going to be governing our own board.
SGA is the bridge between the student voice and faculty administration.
And I want to make sure students, particularly freshmen, are involved right out of the gate. They're connecting their experiences on campus to their learning process.
Newly elected President Madison Tracy hopes to redefine SGA.
Senators get involved in the process too, not just the executive officers. So make sure that executive board and my senators feel empowered to go to organizations and figure out what the students need from us, because that's the whole point of SGA, is kind of relating back to the students and making sure we're creating legislation that's impactful and that makes a difference and that is going to benefit the overall life of a student on MTSU's campus.
Reporting for MTSU, I'm Kiara Green.
Congrats to Madison and all the elected SGA officials. For more information about SGA, you can visit the Student Government Office here in the Student Union. Now back to Katie and Mason.
Well, Mason, have you ever seen the musical West Side Story?
I can neither confirm nor deny that, Katie, but what I can confirm is that I did make an A+ in theater appreciation last semester.
Well, congrats on that, but you probably should have went and seen MTSU Arts' production of West Side Story that they just got done putting on. It was a really successful run, and Whitt Laxson takes us behind the scenes with all the actors and performers in West Side Story.
I like to be in America.
West Side Story. It's Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet set in 1950s New York City. And it's Broadway's iconic musical that's set to open at MTSU.
From day one, I just had a wonderful cast to work with. I've had incredible crew support. My designers have just been so on the ball and with fantastic ideas.
Since the start of rehearsals in February, a cast and crew of nearly 80 people have worked to create a production that combines classic theater techniques with modern-day technology.
We're using a screen projection in this show, which is kind of the wave of the future in the theater world.
As a full-scale show of both vocal and physical demand, this MTSU Arts presentation is a joint effort between the college's programs of theater, music, and dance.
It's such a timeless show, and to have all these different groups come together to perform it in such a way. It's very exciting.
Collin Peterson plays the Romeo character of Tony, who hopelessly falls for the show's Juliet figure, Maria, played by Brianna Smart.
I consider her to be very innocent and almost naive in a way, but she's still very headstrong and a very identifiable character for a lot of different people.
While it's a show that's filled with song and dance, West Side Story does depict social issues relevant in the mid-20th century and today.
There's a Puerto Rican girl and the so-called white boy, and nobody likes that they're involved.
Like Shakespeare's tragedy that came before it, the play tells of star-crossed lovers, divided in this case by rival gangs feuding over racial tensions.
This is an age-old conflict that has plagued not only our country, but the world.
Director Christy Schamberger hopes the musical will inspire audiences to think twice when it comes to discrimination.
Just think, and maybe, just maybe, someday, somewhere, to quote the show, we will be able to bridge those gaps.
West Side Story brings together elements of romance and violence in the midst of show-stopping musical numbers, all merging to tell a story of heartache, but perhaps more importantly, a story of hope. For MT10 News, I'm Whitt Laxson.
Thanks, Whitt, and shout out to the cast and crew of West Side Story for a great run at Tucker Theater.
Speaking of shout outs, something we want to do in this segment is recognize you, our potential viewer, by sharing your social media content of Middle Tennessee events and happenings right here on The Rise.
So for more on how this will work, let's check in with our Rise co-host Marissa Burke over in the Social Center.
Hi guys, I'm Marissa and I'm your social media host. Today our Social Center is here in the Sim. Our social media pages won't be launched until the fall. However, we want you, the viewer, to know how to get involved with us here at The Rise. Whenever you go to campus or Middle Tennessee events, use the hashtag RiseMT on your post and we'll share them here on the show. I'll be back a little bit later to talk about trending topics and popular culture. For now, we're going to send it back to Katie and Mason.
Thanks, Marissa. Coming to us from the Center for Innovation in Media, or the CIM, where this summer high school journalism students will have a special opportunity to expand their talents.
July 11th through the 15th, MTSU is hosting the second annual Innovation J Camp, which is open to all high schoolers grade 9 through 12. The camp will provide students with hands-on learning experience for the basics of media and journalism.
And by the end of the week, those attending will create multimedia projects such as photos, videos, and stories. Students will learn how to build their projects and showcase their talents for everyone to see.
For info on registration, visit innovationjcamp.org.
Well, that's all for what's happening at MT, so now let's go to Piper Evans with our first look at weather.
Hey guys, well I'm Piper and I am so excited to do weather for the new show, The Rise. I hope I can help you learn about weather and help you prepare for your day. For today though, we're going to have partly cloudy skies and the high is going to be about 64 and the low is going to be about 48. A little bit chillier than what we're used to, especially starting out in the month of May. I know we're, just all used to these warm temperatures, but we do live in the great state of Tennessee, so temperatures are going to just vary up and down until we hit June. We're going to hit those summer temperatures. So for now, I'm going to send it right back to Katie and Mason.
Thanks, Piper.
Still to come on The Rise, segments like FYI, Sports Zone, and The Trend.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Rise. This is our FYI block where we focus on lifestyle information such as health and fitness. Now, keeping up a healthy lifestyle can sometimes be a challenge, but reporter David Robbins got a unique perspective on what it really takes.
With Williamson County being named one of the healthiest counties here in Tennessee, we all know that some of the key things about eating healthy is eating such things as kale and other leafy greens. The first step is always with nutrition.
But we always take time to eat, so why not take time to eat sitting down in your kitchen? Mm-hmm. So I think that's huge, just getting back into the kitchen, thinking about, pull out grandma's recipes, start doing some of that kind of stuff.
And you don't have to spend a lot either.
Even if it's not organic, it can still be real food. Fruits, vegetables. If you can't read the label, don't eat it.
Being healthy isn't just about what you eat, but it's also about being active as well.
Being active is not as hard as you may think.
Just try to fit what you can into your day. You don't, most people think of exercise, it's 30 minutes at a stretch, but you can break it into 2 15-minute sessions or 2 10-minute sessions. Or you've heard people say, park your car the furthest at the mall and walk. You can always add fitness into your day.
With the many walking trails and park areas to go running or walking, you can easily be active that way.
Getting out and Just for me, it's finding a cute outfit often. Get some good shoes and just get out there. And the sunshine is so important for us, that vitamin D, and just starting slow.
Even participating in local marathons is great to do with others.
Be active. We live in an age too much where everybody's focusing on the screen and, being at home and comfortable in a sense. And things like this, it really brings communities together.
In Middle Tennessee, David Robbins, News 3.
Thanks, David. Also in this block, we want to focus on a segment called Now You Know, where we inform you of different social events and cultural issues that may be going on in the world. Because our reporter Hannah Husky actually did some research of her own and found that people of our generation don't really know that much about politics like they probably should, especially while we're in an election season.
It's that time again where we start to see a lot more of these. And with that in mind, millennials are constantly targeted as being an ill-informed generation. Well, we went out to MTSU to prove those people wrong, but ended up doing the complete opposite. Do you know who won the Civil War?
No, I don't. No.
America? Am I wrong?
That's up for debate.
Us? I don't know.
I have no clue.
South? The Civil War. Was that us? Or the British? I don't know.
But that's not all they don't know.
Could you name the candidates for the 2016 presidential election?
Is it more than 2 people? All I know is Donald Trump.
Benny Saunders, ain't that his name?
Hillary Clinton. What's that toupee guy's name? Donald Trump. I think that's it.
I cannot think of them. Heck, I don't know.
But millennials do know one thing.
What show is Snooki from?
Oh, she's from Jersey Shore. Oh, that's bad. Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. Sadly, yes. I said Jersey Shores.
Jersey Shore. I do know that. Jersey Shore. Oh my gosh. I feel like an awful American citizen right now.
Now, traditionally in American elections, young people have stood out for their consistent low levels of electoral participation. And it's quite clear that millennials need to be spending less time with their heads buried in these and focus a little bit more about what's on these.
Hey guys, well we are having a slight wind breeze right now in the Middle Tennessee area. That's because we do have some rain coming in for tomorrow. We're going to have an 80% chance of rain, so you might want to grab your umbrella because for your work or drive to school because it's going to be very rainy and could have possible thunderstorms as well. But don't worry because we are going to have some sunshine through the week for your Mother's Day weekend, and you can find out more in the 7-day forecast coming up next.
Coming up next in the sports zone, we're going to look at MTSU's women's tennis team. They had a big tournament recently. Also, we're going to take a look at your Nashville Predators. Smashville's got a big playoff game coming up tonight as well as Thursday. And also, we're going to take a look at your Tennessee Titans and how they did in the draft. Welcome back to The Rise. I'm Alex Myers, and I'm here to keep you updated on sports around Murfreesboro and beyond. So first off, we're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans. 2 main draft picks we're going to hit real quick, and that's Jack Collin. The Titans picked him with the number 8 pick in the draft. He looks to help with the offensive line needs. He's going to play tackle for the Titans and hopefully protect Marcus Mariota. Later on in the draft, later in the second round, the Titans selected Derrick Henry, running back out of Alabama. He was a Heisman Trophy winner, so that gives DeMarco Murray a little more help, and overall Marcus Mariota and that Titans offense look to get stronger, especially in the run game. Now moving on to a different sport, now we're going to talk about your Smashville Predators. We've got a game tonight against the Sharks. They're down 0-2. They look to come back in that series. If you can be there tonight. If not, they've got a game Thursday in Bridgestone as well. Here in the Sports Zone, one thing we like to do each week is highlight an MTSU sports team. So this week we're going to take a look at the MTSU women's tennis team and how they did in their annual Conference USA tennis tournament. Jake Rose has the recap.
The 8th-seeded Lady Raiders were fighting to make history, trying to be the only 8th seed to ever win the Conference USA tournament. After Thursday's first round, the 12-team field was cut in half, and the Lady Raiders were still swinging after knocking off arch-rival Western Kentucky for the second time in less than a week. The Lady Raiders took care of business on Thursday, sweeping Western Kentucky, but in turn were swept in the quarterfinals on Friday by Florida International, leaving FIU, Old Dominion, Southern Miss, and three-time defending champion Rice as the only 4 teams remaining in the tournament. After beating Old Dominion, the top-seeded Panthers of FIU were set to square off in Sunday's final round against the reigning three-time defending champion Rice Owls. FIU was no match for the second-seeded Owls, as Rice would cruise to their record-setting 4th straight Conference USA Team Championship, capped off by freshman Emily Smith's comeback win to seal the title for the Owls.
When everyone was hugging me, I was like close to tears. It was like so incredible. I didn't realize it was going to feel that good. Like everyone had said it was amazing, but it was like you can't even describe it.
Played a really solid match to start to finish, so just excited, thrilled, and proud more than anything of the toughness and class of the team.
Thanks, Jake. I'm Alex Myers, and that will wrap things up in the Sports Zone today. We're now going to send it over to Katie and Mason.
Thanks, Alex. Now, our cast is all spread out today, but eventually we hope to be gathered together in the studio, especially for this next segment, which is called MT Life, and usually is going to focus on human interest stories.
That's right, Mason. You know, we are all guilty of taking tasks that we can do every day for granted, but one local sports official took what some may call a disability, and he overcame that. Reporter Jackson Jones has more on the story.
It's Saturday afternoon at Siegel Elementary, and when the officials hit the buzzer, it's time for Greg Logan to step on the court.
By the age of 16, I'd probably be in a wheelchair. Here I am, close to 45, and I'm still running and proving the doctor wrong.
Since birth, Greg has had a movement disorder known as cerebral palsy, but it hasn't stopped him from moving forward, inspiring others to go with him.
I had to see him work. I had to go wherever he was going until I could actually talk to him. And then that's how we ended up together.
Life can throw you challenges. But people like Greg can prove you can overcome those challenges.
You know, I love proving people wrong that say, hey, you can't do this or you can't do that. And I have a great support system, my wife and my family and friends, my coworkers.
Speaking of coworkers, they see the talent he has as well.
Nothing ever gets him down. He just works 7 straight games with no problem, and he's always willing to work, wanting to work, and he's great with the kids.
And Greg doesn't play the disability card. He wants people like him to move forward.
Do whatever the odds give you the ability to do, whether it's scorekeeper, refereeing.
Greg isn't stopping anytime soon, and people like his wife are along for the ride.
He stands his ground, you know, and I just found that interesting because I'm like, he's not backing down. He called that, and that's what he meant.
Greg says the Lord has been good to him.
And I give him the glory when I'm running up and down the court, and when I'm calling balls and strikes behind the plate for 14 hours, you know.
When you go to your next game in the borough, you just might see Greg.
Thanks, Jackson. You know, that was such a heartwarming story, and it's always great to see people in our community who really care so much about what they do, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Piper with our last look at weather for the day.
Thanks, guys. Well, now let's look at your 7-day forecast for tomorrow for your drive to work or school. It's going to be about 70 degrees, the low 45, and we're going to have an 80% chance of rain. For your weekend, though, on Friday through Sunday, we're going to have clear skies for your Mother's Day weekend. The high will be 70 and the low will be in 45. And then to kick off your week on Monday, we're going to have partly cloudy skies. The high will be 90. Well, that is all for your weather. I'm Piper Evans reporting weather for The Rise.
And coming up next in the trend, the Beehive won't be buzzing in Nashville anytime soon. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to The Rise and welcome back to the Social Center, where now it's time for our segment called The Trend, where we're going to be talking about what's going on in popular culture and most importantly, what's trending on social media. This isn't going to be a celebrity heavy segment, but we are starting this segment by talking about Beyonce postponing her Nashville appearance. Following the release of her new album Lemonade and the start of her Formation World Tour, Queen Bee has unexpectedly postponed her stop in Music City that was scheduled for Thursday, May 5th. The concert was set to take place at Nissan Stadium, and while the decision to reschedule the show is still unclear, Metro Nashville is denying claims that the construction work at the stadium is to blame. Even though Beyonce won't be in Nashville this week, she did show up to the Met Gala in New York City last night, an annual event that brings Hollywood glamour to the East Coast. It's called the Super Bowl of Fashion, and this year it was all about fashion in the age of technology, a theme embraced by big names like Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift. More big news popped out of the Big Apple today. The Tony Award nominations were announced this morning for the Best on Broadway. Hamilton, the hip-hop musical everyone's been talking about for months, is nominated for 16 Tony Awards, more than any other show in Broadway history. Acting, writing, directing, dancing, you name it, Hamilton is nominated. And we'll see how many awards the show takes home when the Tonys are held on June 12th. April showers bring May flowers, but on social media, May brings memes. Towards the end of April, we expect to see this meme of Justin Timberlake back when he was in NSYNC singing the boy band's pop single, It's Gonna Be Me, from the year 2000. Timberlake addressed the popular meme on Facebook and Twitter this year saying, "Everybody, it's actually gonna be May. Hashtag, can you meme yourself?" That's a wrap for The Trend. I'm Marissa Burke in the Social Center, sending it to you, Katie and Mason.
Thanks, Marissa. Now this brings us to the conclusion of our show, where we'll usually feature a live guest or a musical act of some sort.
That's right, but since we're just getting started out, we're actually going to play some bloopers from this past semester with MT10 News, and make sure and keep your eyes peeled because you might see a few familiar faces.
And we had just rain everywhere. The wind was at 12 miles per hour, which I broke 2 umbrellas today, so that should tell you about the wind today.
Jayla?
And this is my cute little co-anchor for the evening. We saw 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, and the temperature is going to keep rising as we go into the week.
Thanks, Lainey and Mason.
Good while. Meanwhile, have a good night, Rutherford County.
Oh, right before we go, we're going to have one last look at weather. Piper? No, we're not. Well, night. Thank you for joining us.
Well, Piper, as you know, the MTSU baseball team, Paige, the MTSU baseball team isn't doing too good right now. They're kind of rocky, but hopefully they can do a little better.
Yes, I hope so they can. Marti Sanders joins us now with a look at MT10 Sports.
That'll be all for sports. We'll take it back to you guys at the desk.
It's just been absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. Tomorrow will be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful tomorrow. Absolutely amazing out here tonight. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be absolutely amazing this week.
For Super Tuesday.
And C. White.
And there is another picture on campus. I don't know if we're going to get it up. There it is. The wind was about 19 miles per hour. It was kind of violent if you ask me. My hair was just blowing everywhere. Get out.
Still ahead on MT10 News.
It was beautiful outside today. Wasn't it great?
Yeah, I was actually outside a little bit earlier in between classes trying to catch a tan.
Oh, okay.
David, why don't you tell us about sports?
Thanks, Alex. It was for joining us. Meanwhile, keep it classy in Rutherford
Hopefully
County.
it stops raining.
Thank you for joining us for MT10 News. I'm Alex Myers.
I want to know a little bit more about the weather. So it's going to be pleasant tonight? No, I don't.
We hope we can join you again right here next week. Thanks for having us. MT10 News.
Good night. I'm Janina Hendricks.
We hope you enjoyed those bloopers, but for non-blooper related material, be sure to check out mt10news.com.
That does it for this episode of The Rise. We hope to join you again next fall.
And congratulations to the graduating class of 2016. I'm Katie Inman.
And I'm Mason Brown. Have a great summer.